Live streaming on Wall Street Sizing Up, waiting on YouTube. We are live. It is Wall Street Sizing Up stock market news today, February 23rd, 2021, year of our Lord. This is the quick bites. This is a lot of the news you will not see on CNBC. It's for the geeks and the traders, and this is my new camera, so I'm trying it out. We can go with this one as well. But this is for the geeks and traders. Now, I just combine newsletters and, for my own knowledge, and that's where I find value, and I hope you find value in this as well. So with that said, let's get going. We are off today. Started off really, really bad. I know. Let me look at. I know that the Dow was down 400. It roared back. It's great to see. Up 15. NASDAQ was down about 350, 375, and it roared back. It finished only down half a point. I believe that's the fourth session in a row, guys. Trend is starting to form, and it's not a good one, but it was good to see that the bounce back occurred. The S&P was up 5. So let's just get to the news straight up and see what we got today. So SoftBank is nearing a deal to buy 25% of WeWork, along with co-founder Adam Neumann's holdings of $480 million as part of the agreement. SoftBank will also buy 10.5% equity valued at $1.5 billion from WeWork investors. The SoftBank deal will clear the way for WeWork to go public through a SPAC merger with BowX Acquisition Corp at a valuation of $10 billion. We can talk about Bitcoin as well, right? Bitcoin fell today. Didn't do real well today. It fell. It's down. It's dead. So it's coming back as well. It's up, or it's down 10% from its high. So 58, and it is now at 48. It fell as low as 45% this morning. Bitcoin is just give you some, how big Bitcoin has become. It is now 10% of the values mined gold. So that doesn't sound like a lot, but coming from nothing in 2009, pretty cool. User-generated gaming platform Roblox will go public via a direct listing on March 10th. The company had initially planned to debut via traditional IPO last autumn, but opted instead to raise $520 million, a $29.5 billion valuation. Speaking of that, SPACs, right? All SPACs slid today from what we can tell. Top 5 analyst upgrades today. Starbucks, the reason they were upgraded to outperform from market performance at BMO Capital was because reopening beneficiary. Texas Instruments was upgraded to outperform at Raymond James. MGM upgraded to a buy at Argus. Palo Alto Networks upgraded to outperform at BMO Capital. And Intuit upgraded to outperform inline at Evercore. The Intuit was pretty interesting. One, because they expect a re-acceleration in QuickBooks and small online sellers and strong tax season. 5 analyst downgrades. Kroger downgraded to underperform B of A. The Real downgraded to market performance from outperform at Raymond James. Dish downgraded to a hold at Pivotal Research. Host Hotels downgraded to a hold from buy at Jefferies. Spotify. This was interesting. Spotify was downgraded to a neutral from overweight at Atlantic Equities, citing valuation concerns. Interesting. Hey, by the way, I did a TikTok today. I did find which investment firms, their stock recommendations you can trust the most, right? So over a 1-year period, here's what I got. Craig Hallam, 58% success rate on 1,870 ratings. Needham had a 55% success rate, but listen to this, on 7,000 ratings. Benchmark Company, 54% success rating on 3,000 ratings. And KeyBank was number 4 there, 53% success rate on over 6,000 ratings. So if you were to weight those, all are very good, but Needham and KeyBank did excellent. Apple released its new MacBook Pro, or will release its new MacBook Pro model second half of this year with the HDMI port and an SD card reader as well. Thought I had something on Apple here, but I probably don't. There's a lot of Bitcoin stuff going on. All right. Facebook has reached an agreement with the Australian government to amend a bill that would force them to pay local media outlets. They just amended the bill. They haven't come to an agreement per se. Let me get into it. Facebook will no longer be forced into government arbitration immediately upon breach. Instead, it will have a 2-month negotiating period to determine independent contractors with new publishers, right? Sorry, to determine independent contracts with new publishers. So they think they're going to pay, but what they really just got out of, so they've opened it back up. All the traffic they're now driving to the Australian content sites, news sites, if you would, but they're going to use the next 2 months to negotiate independent contracts with news publishers, right? Earlier this month, Microsoft voiced its support for mandating media platforms such as Facebook and Google pay for news content. You want to know why? Because they own Bing. We reported on that yesterday and probably last week. Huawei will be rolling out Harmony OS, its Android competitor, in April. The software has been in development since 2019 when U.S. regulators banned tech firms licensing to Huawei. I agree with that. I think they should keep them banned. There's a lot of Chinese companies that are on my hit list. What was funny was some of the movers today. Let me see if I can find that. AMC was very active. Churchill, CCIV, which is Lucid, which they finally consummated it. Down 38% today. Apple, there's your Apple down just a hair. Palantir was down $1.25, and NEO was down $1.50, right? So, Apex Clearing Corp, the clearing firm and custodian for digital assets and for several online trading platforms as well, will go public through a merger with Blank Check Company, backed by New York Islanders co-owner John Ledecky, in a deal that values the combined entity at $4.7 billion. Apex did get caught up in that in the Robinhood, aka Roaring Key, aka GameStop fiasco. New Jersey officials legalized cannabis, decriminalizing possession and loosening penalties for carrying. That's what it says here. So I wonder if they're going to let people out of prison for those felonies. All right. That's pretty much my news today, but I'm going to go into crypto. So if you're not in crypto, if you don't like crypto, you can bug out now. In the last 24 hours, the market saw 5.7 billion worth of liquidations, according to TrackerBit, a development triggered by a broad decline in the price of Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies. NFTs, if you don't know, they're all the rage. We talked about them yesterday. NFTs are digital assets and a type of cryptographic token. These digital assets, like art, are not interchangeable like cryptocurrencies. Each NFT represents a unique digital asset. The ownership is authenticated and recorded on a perpetually updating immutable ledger, aka that's blockchain, DLT technologies. The NFT market tripled to 250 million this year. Crypto firm Bitfinex, iFinex, and Tether have settled with the New York Attorney General over a case that began 2 years ago. If you didn't know, in April 2009, Attorney General of New York alleged Bitfinex and Tether funds used Tether funds to secretly cover $850 million in losses lost to a payment processor, Crypto Capital. The lost funds allegedly triggered withdrawal problems for Bitfinex customers in late 2018. So, as a part of the settlement agreement, Tether volunteered to provide the NAG's office and the public a quarterly update on UST's reserves, backing, and a recommendation. That was the whole thing, is that their reserves were not one-for-one backed. As a stablecoin, you need to be one-for-one backed with the U.S. dollar. And they were not. So Bitfinex and Tether admit no wrongdoing. They have agreed to pay $18.5 million. Again, $18.5 million. They could have crashed the entire. Well, I think today was a big part of Bitcoin being down was part of this, the Tether fiasco. The Attorney General investigation found that starting in 2017, during certain periods of time, USDT Tether had no access to banking anywhere in the world and held no dollars to back its tethers in circulation at the rate of $1 per USDT. So there you go. They didn't admit it. I actually read what the AG said, and it did say that they were fraudulent, right? Again, all they got to do is pay a fine. I think this is good. One is it's good. It really clears for corporate clients to start and institutional clients to start buying Bitcoin, right? Because this is really the dark cloud, the biggest dark cloud hanging over the ecosystem. It was bad optics, and that's probably why Bitcoin is down today, or one of the bigger reasons why. Also, USDT flipped to a 2% premium against the RMB amid Bitcoin's price drop. I don't know if that really played a role. And then finally, it looks like CoinShares will be the first major crypto asset manager to list publicly. Yesterday, they announced their intention to go to IPO in the NASDAQ First North Growth Market in Sweden. So in Sweden, where they're based, that they're going to target March 11th under the ticker COIN on the Swedish market exchange, but I believe it's owned by NASDAQ. Please fact check me on that. And that is it for the stock market news today, and that's the crypto edition at the end. Again, we're sponsored by StockTrade.tips. They have one goal, and one goal is to help you profit off the insider knowledge of the hedge funds. They send you SMS texts for hedge fund positions they believe are still profitable. That being said, guys, thanks again. Watch your six, go hard in the paint. We'll see you next time. Cheers.